It was a Democratic slugfest, the 2020 presidential candidates mixing it up during the 6th primary debate. Mayor Pete Buttigieg, the target of many of those attacks. Take a look.
The mayor just recently had a fundraiser that was held in a wine cave full of crystals and served $900 a bottle wine. Think about who comes to that.
Senator, your net worth is 100 times mine. This is the problem with issuing purity tests you cannot yourself pass.
When we were in the last debate, Mayor, you basically mocked the 100 years of experience on the stage. So while you can dismiss committee hearings, I think this experience works. And I have not denigrated your experience as a local official. I have been one.
And the issue over lack of diversity on the stage also came up.
It's both an honor and disappointment to be the lone candidate of color on the stage tonight. I miss Kamala, I miss Corey, though I think Corey will be back.
Senator Sanders, you are the oldest candidate on stage this evening.
And I'm white as well.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. And actually, the best answer to that question came from Elizabeth Warren, who said she'd be the youngest woman. Of course, the 2020 contenders, they were sure to go after President Trump.
We have a president who is running the most corrupt administration in the modern history.
Watergate, this is a global Watergate.
I'm the person who started the need to impeach movement over 2 years ago.
And finally, one of the surprises of the night coming from Andrew Yang.
If you turn on cable network news today, you would think he's our president because of some combination of Russia, racism, Facebook, Hillary Clinton, and emails all mixed together. But Americans around the country know different. What we have to do is we have to stop being obsessed over impeachment and start actually digging in and solving the problems that got Donald Trump elected in the first place.
So, Dana, you know how I'm such a naif. I've never been to a wine cave. But that's all I'm hearing about today. Wine cave, wine cave. What is a wine cave?
Wine cave is where you complain about something incessantly to drive people crazy. I mean, a $900 bottle of wine is what Jesse has on his table every night. It's just like,
I think Greg is the guy. By the way, Liz was just mad because she only uses a wine TP.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. This is what I don't understand about this debate from Elizabeth Warren. So basically what she's saying is this. She has disavowed doing big fundraisers. Okay, now this is after she ran for Senate and raised $10.5 million from big donors that she then put it towards her campaign. And she's complaining that somebody like Mayor Pete has gained some support from big donors and is taking that money. But nobody except for a very small percentage of people, cares about campaign finance reform, as long as it's disclosed as to who is donating. So she wastes all of this time talking about this. I thought that he was getting attacked because he has risen in the polls while she has declined ever since her Medicare for All, and I think that it showed that he was able to fight back. I thought one of the best lines of the night was when he talked about the purity tests and the problem with them, especially if you can't even pass the test that you put out there, which she has done. And I think that he also made another good point. If you plan to beat President Trump in 2020, you have to deal with the fact that the Republicans are awash in cash. Jesse just mentioned right before the show, we saw that the president raised $10 million in this week.
48 hours.
I mean, in 48 hours after impeachment, you're going to have as much money in order to try to beat him, unless you have Bloomberg, who's financing his own.
So, Jesse, watching the debate, the thing that stood out to me was Joe Biden, best in show, best performance that I've seen from him on the debate stage yet. What did you think?
I agree. He had his best debate, but his previous debates were so bad, by not screwing up that badly, he had his best debate. It's a low bar. Okay. He was steadier. He said less bizarre things. He still said crazy things. For instance, I think one person said, are you just going to throw away hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs in order to go green? And he said, yeah. I mean, you put that in an ad, and that's just death.
Did you see how they tried to fix that today?
How'd they spin it?
They said, so Peter Doocy was out on the trail, and he asked the Biden people, what did he mean? Really, it's okay to get rid of all these hundreds of thousands of jobs in order for the environment to be better than that. No, no, no. What he meant was because he's going to improve the environment, there will be additional hundreds of thousands of
jobs. Wait, are those green jobs that Obama promised?
Those are green jobs.
Yes, those are those green jobs. Besides that, he had a steady night. That's fine. I was surprised everyone piled on Pete. I thought he showed he has a chin, and he countered effectively. He was well prepared. It's weird to go after someone on a wine cave. Yeah. That line of attack was kind of cheap and a little corny and telegraphed, and she walked right into it. I mean, she's worth, what, $10 million? She's, as you've said, taken money from lots of rich people. Why would you disarm? It's like unilateral disarmament. Trump's awash. I like that word, awash with cash. And you're going to say, no. A billionaire's money's dirty because the guy is a billionaire. What if the billionaire is a radical left-wing Democrat that hates Trump more than you do? You're not going to take his cash? Like most Democrat ideas, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, I just think you're not sensitive to the idea that at the moment, populist left-wing politics does not embrace millionaires and billionaires in an era when we have lots of
the most important thing to Democrats is winning and beating Donald Trump. And if you make it harder to win, I think that's bad politics.
I think so. So this is the Christmas season, Gregory.
Oh, yay.
And did you notice that the last question, I saved this for you, was about what you would give the other members of the party on the debate stage, and Andrew Yang, one of your favorites, said he'd give him his book. I was thinking maybe you'd be generous.
Yeah, that was actually that wasn't his best answer. I liked what he had to say, and I liked the question on nuclear power. That was interesting on PBS. On PBS, which stands for pretty boring stuff, was pretty interesting. I don't know. I felt like it was the whole thing. Covering this debate seemed so anticlimactic, right? Because you're in the shadow of Trump. You're in the shadow of impeachment. And you feel like you're watching like a high school theater troupe taking a tour of the Model UN, right? Everything seems so small. However, I did find that I genuinely liked a couple of the people more the more that they talked. I thought Amy Klobuchar did good, and I think Biden did okay. You can feel that you're comfortable around these people, but Trump just keeps changing our perspective on things, whether it's our relationship with our allies, impeachment, or even the Democratic field. Everything just seems so different. I was troubled by the fact that they keep talking about our world in peril. We have troops that are returning safely to a country where they have jobs. I mean, this is a great time to be alive and to be in America. I think that's a challenge for them because they can't instill the fear in us that they'd love to. I wanted to talk about the wine cave.
Sure.
But I guess I'll stop.
You can come back.
To your point about the economic message, Joe Biden was vice president for 8 years, and now he's up there saying the middle class is getting slaughtered.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You were there for 8 years, and now you're running on helping the middle class because they're slaughtered? Well, what the hell was he doing? And in fact, the middle class isn't getting slaughtered. This is a bottom-up recovery, and he doesn't even know the truth.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting point because I was struck by the fact that it was consistent among all the Democrats. Said, you know what, if you go out on the campaign trail, so many people struggling, not only with paying health care bills, but paying just basic education bills, paying for the groceries.
There's a CNN poll that says 76% of Americans think the economy's great. And 60% say they're better off after these 3 years.
All right,
Do you
Emily.
have time to find out about the wine cave, though?
What do you mean?
I want to know what you think about the wine cave.
No, I want to hear Emily.
I'll be fast. So I just wanted to speak about that moment between Bernie and Amna when she asked about race and he answered in response about climate change. And she said, with all due respect, I asked you about race. And to me, that was a metaphor for the Democratic Party right now, which is that voices are asking to be heard in a certain way. And those on top, and the establishment Democrats included, and especially, are saying, oh no, honey, let me tell you what's really important. Let me tell you what you need to care about. I thought it was that perfect symbolic moment. I think Yang continues to shine in that he's the best issue spotter on that stage. He continues to me to demonstrate that he's not presidential, but he's absolutely at the top of answering in these relatable issues that gets to the point that the other ones who are kind of continuing to bring about their same talking points, the same lunch buffet of issues and that they care about. You know exactly every time they open their mouth what they're going to say, and that's not the case with him. And just as a reminder, you guys, Gabbard, Booker, Castro, Bloomberg, Bennett, Delaney, Patrick, and Williamson are still in the race.
They are?
By the way,
exactly. And who is Bennett?
By the way, Greg picked up on
Michael
this.
Bennett,
Amy Klobuchar I think, had a great debate. Did you think that?
You always say that, and I never feel the
He's
same
got
way.
a thing for her. He loves her.
What
I
the
never feel the
hell
same
are
way.
you talking about?
You're always talking about Amy.
No, I thought it was Marianne
like
Did you notice, though,
I don't feel
did
the
you
same
notice
way.
when Bernie Sanders said, he just yelled, I'm white, and then he went like this?
I missed that.
Jesus.
That's racist.
All right. So what's the wine cave thing?
I can't remember what it was.
Oh, that's
it was
because,
something about...
You were in the wine cave.
Well, a wine cave can be anywhere. Like, all you got to do, get a bottle of wine, and then put the blanket over your head. That's my wine cave.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's a basement where you keep some wine.
Exactly.
All right.